morning, everybody. Once again, a very warm welcome to each one of you to the day 3 of our PhD inauguration 2022. May I now request our CEO, Mr. Rajesh Pillai, to please take the session forward. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Janvi. Very good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Good morning,
Very
sir.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good mornings all over. All the way from Calcutta to Solapur to Bombay. And a few other cities too, of course. Great. I have the pleasure of having Nishigandha Kulkarni with us today. Let me start by giving you a small, brief introduction about what Nishi has done over the last 2 decades, or close to 2 decades, if I'm not wrong. Great. So here you go, Nishi. So Nishi is a result-oriented professional with over 19 plus years of work experience, with expertise in HR domain, predominantly in talent, OD, and total rewards. During her career, she has managed development, development requirements for participants spanning different domains of management school, telecom, BFSI, energy sector, retail, apparel, project management, health and safety, beauty and wellness. Uh, Nishi brings energy, compassion, and business orientation to everything she does. She is very patient and looks for the learning opportunity in every interaction that she has. This approach of hers and ability to coach people on their strength and has help numerous people in increasing their confidence and achieving results. She has worked with companies like Lakme Liver, Suzlon, Raymond's Limited, Reliance Communication, TDI International, and SI School of Management. She's a science graduate with specialization in statistics, masters in industrial psychology, MBA in HR, and PG CHRM from XLRI Jamshedpur. She enjoys learning and has attended various certifications like Six Sigma, Black Belt, NLP practitioner, assessment and development centers, diploma in psychotherapy, certified professional behavior analyst, certified professional EQ analyst, facilitation skills, certified inside out performance coach, and project management essentials. I again take this opportunity to welcome Nishi to this wonderful Thursday morning. Thursday, right? Everybody? Are we lost? I haven't been lost on time, right? Okay. So Thursday morning, and Nishi, the floor is all yours. I'm sure a lot of ladies are looking for a lot of tips from you. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, all yours.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for this, giving me the opportunity to talk to the young minds. When you actually interact with the young minds, that helps you to stay young. So that's the tip which I wanted to tell you. So that's something which is really important. And keep learning. So that's what I have been doing. During this lockdown period, I'm really very happy that I have got time for myself, and I have been learning a lot of new things during this, lockdown period as well. So I completed a couple of my certifications. I started with, yoga and a proper coaching in yoga, because that's something which was required after so many years of gap. Yeah, so that's how the new normal which is going on. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to share a presentation. So Alpa, if I can share a presentation.
Yes, ma'am, you can share the screen.
Okay, sure. So this is to all the students. I have few slides because that's the expectation whenever a speaker is addressing people, that the speaker should present something, and so I have prepared a couple of slides, but then I think what is more important is our interaction. So that's something which I would be focusing on. I know it's very difficult, for all of us to interact over this platform, and probably we all would not be able to talk or interact with each other. My request to Alpa ma'am and whoever is actually monitoring or this platform. If at any point of time any student has any question, and if they have typed it out in the window, please do let me know, and I would love to address those questions, because rather than completing my slides, I would be more interested in interacting with students. That's something which is more important.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Before I will start with my presentation, just quickly few things, about me as an individual. Rajesh, sir, he gave a long introduction about me, about what all things I have done in my life and career. Yeah, people call me a little crazy because every time in my career, I have changed the industry itself, right? I have never worked in the same industry. At the initial phase of my life, one of my mentor, actually, he had said that you are a HR professional, you are HR and L&D professional. Do not restrict yourself to a domain knowledge. You are an expert in your vertical domain, so don't restrict yourself to the industry. Because as you will keep on changing the industry, you will get a different perspective about the HR and training, or how the business works, because every business works in a very different way. So that's the reason, if you would see that from the airport advertising, I moved into telecom industry. From telecom, I moved into Raymond, which is like more into retail and manufacturing. From there, I moved to Suzlon, and when I moved from Raymond to Suzlon, people really laughed at me because, from the glamorous world of Raymond, you are moving to Suzlon, wherein, the windmills are getting manufactured and installed, and it's a very different experience altogether. And from Suzlon back to the beauty and wellness industry, which is like a, going to watch a Lakme Fashion Week, sitting in the first row with the VIP pass. That's a different experience altogether. Yeah, so it's a different, I should say that it's the exposure which I have got. And probably that's every time it was, from people's perspective, it was a crazy step which I took. But from my side, it was like, I wanted to learn and I wanted to explore. That's how I have been moving ahead in my life. With that, we will just start with our presentation, because the topic says that metamorphosis, a mind change, right? Because whatever comes on your way, how you handle and how you actually manage that. That's something which we are going to talk. With that, let me just share my screen. Okay, I hope this is visible.
Yeah.
Great. So when we actually, thought about this topic, so honestly speaking, when Alpa ma'am called me that, which topic you would like to address our students on, the first thing came to my mind was a mindset change, and honestly speaking, it was not at all planned. Without thinking, during the conversation itself, that was the, answer to her. So what are we thinking when we talk about the mindset change, or we talk about metamorphosis, right? We all are aware that during the school time, we have learned about metamorphosis, that, how lava turns into a butterfly, and it's a very beautiful process, and we all are mesmerized with that entire process. And when during the school time, when we learned about it, I still remember that, I used to run around in the garden, and I used to look for those butterflies that, oh, wow, how beautifully they are transforming, right? And I always used to think that I want to be a butterfly who will transform one day like that. And I know some of you may laugh at me, but yeah, that's something which I always had in my mind. With that, currently we all are facing this work from home, right? And I'll tell you, from 23rd of March, we started the lockdown, right? And just before that, though everywhere those corona cases and all those news were floating around, yeah, I was on my official duty in Pune. I was visiting the salons, I was interacting with the teams, and suddenly, and without any safety gears, because at that point of time, nobody was talking about wearing a mask and all that stuff. Yeah, obviously, we were carrying our sanitizers because that's the way I am. In any case, I carry my sanitizer. Uh, the moment we were actually, visiting one of our salon, my zonal business manager, he immediately called me and he said, no, ma'am, we will not visit that area because that area, there are a lot of cases we have found and it's been locked and all. I said, okay, fine, go, nahi to aur kisi salon chalte hai. And I just kept on dragging the day, and around 3:30 by that time, there was like too many news about it, and they were talking about lockdown and all. And I had to rush back to Mumbai. So I had to book a cab immediately and rush back to Mumbai. People, yeah, obviously in my family also, they were on fire that whether she will be able to reach Mumbai safely and all. Yeah, but I managed to do that. And I came back, and then our Prime Minister declared the lockdown. The moment the lockdown was announced, yeah, a lot of people actually got into a panic state wherein, we thought this is an opportunity, because what happens is the salon business, it works, the key of the success of salon business is the investment in the training, the skill upgradation, what you do, right? So we thought that this is the best opportunity for all of us to invest in training our team. And you won't believe, from 23rd, the lockdown was announced, and from 25th, immediately, we rolled out our training calendars pan-India. We trained almost 5,000 people, and that's like 5 lakh hours of training during that entire period. And it was a fabulous thing, and we all were excited to do that. Then we realized that this lockdown will be extended for some time. Then we need to look at some of the new policies like work from home policy, and how can we actually ensure that people will, because people were managing their home front as well as they were managing the office work. How can we actually relax, give that some bit of relaxation or flexibility to people, when they are working from home. And you all are aware that, during this initial phase of lockdown, people were so excited about it that, you are getting time for yourself. You're saving time in travel. People who are staying in the metros, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, they were so excited and thrilled that every day 2 hours one way, the way they used to travel, they are saving on that time. Right? And I have that much extra time for myself. And people were so excited. They wanted to try out whatever the hidden skills, and people started baking, cooking, or, painting, singing. Star Maker was on boom. People started doing all that stuff, right? And that was the initial phase. People started, there are like some of the gyms, they came up with the idea that, we should have an online training for people. They started with the online Zumba classes, yoga classes, or the fitness clubs and all that. At the same time, the people in the organization, typically, if I have to say, the HR team, they started thinking about how to maintain that engagement level with my employees, right? Because that's something which is very critical and difficult at this point of time. People started thinking about that, how can I actually ensure the productivity is maintained? At the same time, my employees are getting some kind of relaxation. So that was the initial phase wherein everybody was excited. And it was like a fancy word at that point of time, a new normal. And people were like talking about what is a new normal in your organization? What is a new normal for us? And something used to happen and people used to say, yeah, this is a new normal. It's fine. It's going to happen, right? None of us were aware that we are going to hit extended lockdown, and none of us were aware that what's going to happen down the line, probably 2 months, 1 month, even 1 month. We were not aware about it, right? In fact, we all were very happy that, we are getting extended time, we are getting my time, and I can do whatever I want. Then came into the picture that, the organization started thinking about a lot of policy change, because as a business head or as a business manager, how can I ensure that my team is working, right? Every business manager was worried about the productivity of each of his employees or each of his team member, his or her team member, right? People struggled a lot. So, because change, we talk a lot that, you need to change, or you need to do this, and you need to do that. But when it comes to you as an individual, adapting that change is very difficult, right? Though theoretically we were talking about a lot of work from home policies or the well-being, initiatives and all that, accepting that mind change was a tough time, right? And that's where a lot of organizations, including my organization, we had to prepare our employees to accept the new normal, right? Because we were not, we have never faced such situations in our life, right? We are so used to of getting up in the morning, getting ready, do your work, go to your school, college, office, have fun, come back. But now this was not the situation, right? And when it got into that extended lockdown, the lockdown 3.0, when it got released, people lost their patience, right? Because that initial excitement died. Then you started realizing the real, the real situation. What happened actually during this extended lockdown period, right? From that initial excitement, we moved to the nightmare. Why it is a nightmare? Because then we started realizing that it's not going to be easy, right? I have to manage my home front. I have to do everything at my home. At the same time, I have to be there for my office or my duty at office. Or if I'm in the school, college, I need to be there. I need to attend my, school, college. I need to appear for my assessments, whatever it is. The life goes on. But at the same time, you have to do a lot of additional work, which you have never dreamt of, right? I can tell you about me. The initial days, I was really happy. Wow, that, we all are at home. And it's been like almost 5-6 years. I travel a lot. So it's like my family had not seen me continuous 30 days at home, right? So they were not used to seeing me like that. The initial days, we were excited that we are getting time together and we want to do some activities. We want to join on some Zoom calls or the video calls with our friends and families and extended relatives and all that stuff. We were very excited. Then we started realizing that 4 of us, we have to see each other 24/7, and it's a very difficult task because we had not seen each other for such a long time. Then we had to actually divide the house into 4 corners, that, which is my corner, which is your corner, and we will see to each other during the lunchtime, dinner time, and whatever time we will see. So from that initial, cuddling and chatting and giggling around and all. Now it's somewhat a kind of a office structure, right? Also, what happened during this entire lockdown period, uh, people at work also, they were also at home, right? So everybody was looking at the flexibility, but that flexibility killed your me time. And it got into the extended work. And forget about the work-life balance, there is only work, right? Um, some of the times, I got the meeting invite, official meeting invite at 8 o'clock in the night. Once or twice, I said, okay, fine, this could be one odd situation. When it got into a habit, then we had to immediately pull up our socks and we had to, make changes in our work from home policy. We had to create that awareness in all our business managers and our people managers that, somewhere you have to understand that what your people are going through right now, right? Okay, though I'm a HR head of Lakme Liver, it does not give me the leeway that I will not cook at home, right? I have to cook because there is a family and we have to sit and eat, right? There is no option. So somewhere, and if you will see during this time, a lot of people actually went through, the problems or challenges on mental well-being, right? Because people were not able to change or adapt the new situation. And that's where that mindset change is very critical and important. People got into depression, people got into a lot of stress related issues and challenges because they were not able to accept the fact of the new normal, right? It is very easy to click the picture and post it on the social media and tag with some hashtag a new normal, or I'm baking, or I'm cooking, or I'm like new hobby. It's very easy to do that, but it's not sustainable. If it has to be sustainable, then probably we'll have to have some mindset change and we'll have to work together on that, right? So during this time, in fact, you must have seen that a lot of organizations and a lot of pro bono, activities also started on the mental well-being, right? There were like a lot of help, the helpline numbers which were announced and released, wherein people can call and take support and take help, which is really good. And first time in India, probably these things would have happened and people would have taken the benefit of it. Initially, when we also launched the services, we were thinking that people won't call, or people won't take the benefit of those services. We literally had to, initially, we had to push people to call up on that number because they were more comfortable talking to me or, one of my colleague or somebody like that. But for me also, it was a very difficult thing because I'm handling my home, I'm handling my office responsibilities. I'm planning and thinking on how can I help and adapt the change, and I can help my entire organization to adapt that change. And if I'm handling these one-to-one calls, it was a real tough thing for me as well. And I think during this entire lockdown, probably my working hour got extended from like 7 a.m. in the morning till 1 o'clock in the midnight or something like that. Then also we started facing the issues with the extended screen time because we are not used to facing, because now everything is online, right? If I want to conduct an interview, yeah, it's a WhatsApp video call. If I'm conducting a meeting, it's a Microsoft Teams or Zoom or anything. If there is a birthday in your family, everybody wants to connect on Zoom and wish and blah blah blah, right? So your screen time has increased a lot, and wherein just sometime back, just if you can recollect, just 5-6 months back situation, we were telling everybody that, we need to reduce the screen time. The exposure to the blue screen is not good for your eyes and your brain. It clutters your brain and all that stuff. Now, you don't have an option, right? You have to face it. But then if I have to face it, I need to accept it with a positive mindset. And I have to ensure that how will I manage that, right? It's a very simple model, 3C2T. When we are talking about work from home, there are few things which are very important. And if you will see, for students also, the first thing is very important is clarity of purpose. Why you are doing something, right? The objective has to be clear and you should know how to prioritize, right? The second important C is communication. A lot of time we fail to communicate correctly, right? So I'm sorry, Alpa ma'am, but then, when I was actually trying to check with Alpa ma'am that, what could be a suitable time, for this session, she said, students can log in anytime. We start some of the session at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning also. I felt that's criminal. I'm really sorry. Though people are at home, but then, if I have to start, means if I have to log into somebody's session at 7 o'clock, I have to get up at least 6:30 to brush my teeth and, wear a proper shirt and sit in front of the camera, right? And how much at that point of time people would be able to absorb, I really do not know. So that's something, communication is very important. Setting the right expectations and, that's something which is very important. The next thing is cadence. That's, we will have to be a little empathetic towards people, right? We need to understand that people are managing their home front and people are managing the office. So we need to be a little empathetic towards it. In fact, yesterday evening only, I was talking to my brother and, he just happened to mention that in our office, so at certain level below, laptops are not allowed. And, we issue them the desktops only. So I said, okay. And he said, one of the employee, we were like his business head, his manager, everybody, HOD, everybody tried, explaining him. And he was very adamant that I do not want desktop, I want only the laptop only. And, at his level, we don't issue a laptop, and it went into a big, issue. I said, but why didn't you ask him that, why he doesn't want a desktop and why he wants a laptop? He said, yeah, after almost a half a day's fight, then, I just, took him out and I asked him that, what's your problem? Why you want a laptop only? Then that guy said that, I'm not staying with my family. Obviously, this is in Mumbai. So he said that I'm staying in one room kitchen flat, wherein there are 6 people who are sharing that one room kitchen. And all 6 of us are from IT industry. If all of 6 guys, we will get the desktops from our companies, where we will install those desktops and where we will sit and sleep. We don't have that much space in our house. So somewhere, yeah, we need to be sensitive towards people and we need to try and understand what are the challenges and why a person is reacting or asking something, what he or she is asking, right? The next best thing is transparency. Please be transparent. And if you have any problems, any challenges, you need to communicate the same, right? Trust. Earlier, if I have to, in the pre-COVID situation, if you will see, trust is fine. Yeah, we talk. we need to have the trust, and we need to build the relationships which are based on trust and all. But all those were like, things to say. But in the COVID time, now we have realized that yes, trust is very important, and we should actually think through that what you say, right? That's very, very important. Because today, when I am allowing my customer to enter my salon, or my experts who are working in my salon, when I'm allowing them to enter my salon, I'm trusting them, right? I check their temperature, I follow all the protocols and all, and I take a self-declaration. In that self-declaration, I'm trusting that person. And that trust is very critical and important, because of that trust, there are a lot of lives which are at stake, right? If somebody gives the wrong information and enters a salon, the people who are in salon at that very moment, everybody's life is at risk, right? So please understand the importance of trust. So what happened during this extended lockdown? This is our situation, right? It's coping with uncertainty day. What should we do to celebrate this day? I can't decide, right? That's our situation. For us, during this extended lockdown, we have actually learned to expect the unexpected. We all used to be fascinated with all the VUCA world and those acronyms, and it's been like a couple of years that we all were talking about it. But now is the situation wherein we are facing everything. We had never expected that the world would be so volatile, right? So this is our condition right now. But then one important thing is, this is it. So what am I going to do about it? If I'm just thinking about it, that this is the situation and I really don't know what to do, we are stuck, right? We need to accept the fact and move on. How are we going to do that? We have actually heard this sentence and learned it from our school days, that change is the only constant. And we all used to get fascinated with that line, kya badhiya line hai. But that's the reality now. We can't run away from this change, right? It's really funny, at times, the way I receive calls, I get the calls, and the way people ask me questions. And then I realize that, oh, wow, this is a new question. I have never answered this question before that. But I can't say to the other party that, I have never answered such question. My job is to answer that question, right? So how do I prepare myself, or how do you can prepare yourself? That's the mindset change, which we are going to talk about. So here comes the metamorphosis, right? It's very simple from a scientific language, that, change from one state to another. But when we relate that word metamorphosis to my mind, it's a very difficult, right? So we need to focus on our mind, that which are those attributes of my mind, or those attitudes of my mind, wherein I am open to change. I need to look at each and every opportunity and ensure that I am giving the better results. There is nothing wrong in that, or nobody is at fault. But then, that's the human mentality or human psyche, wherein, we keep on focusing on the challenges which we face. You talk to anybody and you ask, how are you and what's going on? Right, yeah, I have to cook, I have to go and buy the veggies, and I really don't know how to do this and how to do that, and there are so many restrictions right now, blah, 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 right? People are talking about all challenges, and that's a human mentality, human psyche. We always focus on negative. A simple thing, uh, you went to some friend's place or you went to college, and you had told your mom that you will be back by 8 p.m. And if it's 9 p.m. and you have not reached home and you are not accessible or reachable on your mobile phone, what will happen? Your mom will think all possible negative things about you. But your mom will never think शायद ये टेम्पल गया होगा और भगवान के दर्शन ले रहा होगा. Your mom will never think about it. And even if you are standing in probably a Siddhivinayak queue or some temple ka queue, and you really wanted to take pray the God and take darshan on that particular day, and in that entire process probably you got delayed, your mom will never think about it. Your mom will think about all possible negative things which could have happened with you, right? Because that's how the human mind works. We focus on negative. So we need to look at every challenge as an opportunity. How can I convert this challenge into an opportunity? That's what will show the path to the success. And it actually, metamorphosis is not something which will happen at a snap of a finger, right? It's an entire journey, and there are a lot of events which are there in between that. There are series of events, and you need to go through that. Then only you will be able to actually transformed, and that journey will happen, right? So how to do that journey? What are the important elements which we need to focus when we are on this journey? The first important thing is self-actualization or self-realization. You kids are too young to think about the self-actualization or self-realization. And if you are able to do it, bang on, you guys will rock, I'm telling you. Unfortunately, in my life, if you will actually see my profile, there are a lot of changes in my profile that so the way Rajesh sir just mentioned to you that I have done my BSc in statistics, then I did my MSc in industrial psychology, I moved into HR, MBA, I did my Six Sigma or PMP and all that, and then I moved into NLP and psychotherapy, and I'm a certified psychotherapist. Probably I was struggling to find out that what exactly I want, because the numbers, Excel files, they attract me a lot. I love data crunching, I love data analytics, but at the same time I'm a very creative person, right? And I enjoy sketching, drawing, and it's really funny, and at times I don't mention in my whatever the CV or career or whatever the graph you will say. Yeah, I am a certified fashion designer. I have done my 2 years of textile and fashion designing, and I was into the industry for almost 4 or 5 years, right? So I'm a creative person also at the same time. So that struggle was there, and probably when I did my master's in psychology and when I started actually interacting with people, somewhere I started feeling that, okay, numbers and everything is fine, but then at the same time, understanding people is something very interesting, and I want to develop myself on that part. Fortunately, by that time, I had got a couple of mentors with whom I could talk do, and I discussed about it, and they said, and that's where I started with my NLP and psychotherapy and all the behavioral assessment certifications and all. And I learned one thing, that at every certification, the first thing what they talk about is self-actualization. Know yourself. And Alpaman, here I want to give one activity to these students, and you the faculties, you can actually evaluate. It's not about the evaluation, but then, and just ensure that every student is doing that activity, and there is nothing that they should actually come back and submit it to you. So this is to all of you students. Today we are sitting in 2020, right? Try to write a letter to yourself when you are in 2030. So it's a writing a letter from future, right? So if you are at 2030, think that where you are sitting, what is your lifestyle, or what do you like, what you don't like, where do you see yourself? It's a beautiful thing. That will help you to understand what you exactly want in your life, right? And also it will help you to understand that what are your strengths and areas wherein you need to focus, you need to work upon, so that you will be able to achieve your goal, right? So it's a beautiful activity. Once you will start writing the letter from future, you will really feel good. When my coach, first time when he asked me to write a letter to him from future, I felt it very, means when I read that letter, I felt it's very funny, and my coach would judge me and say that, are you nuts? Because I had mentioned that probably 10 years down the line, I want to sit, I want to have a small, a farmhouse kind of a stuff or something, or, a place wherein I'm very close to the nature, and nobody is asking me or questioning me about, my appearance or how I am talking, interacting with people, and I'm just free to help people. So, something, when I read that letter, and I was very hesitant to share it with my coach, but then my coach said, you please share whatever you have written. When I shared that letter, so he said that shows that what are your values as an individual and what do you want, right? So you want to contribute to the social circle, you want to contribute to people, society. That's your ultimate goal in your life. But if you want to achieve that goal, you will have to learn a lot, you will have to slog a lot, and you will have to achieve some level position wherein you are able to do it, right? And that gave me the path. And honestly speaking, the way you guys are doing your MBA, because either your parents have told you to do a master's degree, or you feel that my friend has the master's degree and I need to have an MBA degree, or if I'll have an MBA tag, then probably getting a good job, chances are higher of getting a good job. Even I had thought the same way. And during my young age, yes, I did my MBA in human resources. I scored distinction as well, because that's the time my aim in my life was achieving that distinction, so that I'm topping the charts and I'm very happy with my scores and all. Probably what I missed out at that point of time was hands-on experience, and probably learning those concepts, or getting into detail or depth of those concepts, the applicability of all the concepts which we learned during our times. When my coach started, all this, my entire journey, he started planning, and like how I can set my goals and all that stuff was happened. somewhere, I planned to do my, again, MBA in HR through Auxiliary Jamshedpur. I enrolled myself, and it was a real tough thing because at that point of time, I was heading a very senior position in the organization. I was a global leadership development head and for Suzlon, and it was a real tough thing because we had to work according to the global teams and all. And my coaching sessions used to start after 5 o'clock in the evening. In fact, Auxiliary selection board was not ready to give me admission because they said that the people who work for the global teams, we do not want them to enroll in our course because they won't be able to complete the course and they won't be able to give the time which is required for the studies. Because thrice in a week, we used to have the video lectures directly from the Auxiliary Jamshedpur studio. And the best part was at any point of time, a professor used to unmute us and ask a direct question. So you have to be very, very attentive during those 3 hours of that video session. And every Sunday we used to have an exam. And for every subject, we were supposed to submit the live project. It was a very tough time for me, but I enjoyed and I learned a lot. And that's where, I started actually visiting our plants, started getting involved into the labor issues, the negotiations, because the studies were, that was the requirement from my studies perspective. And 2 years of that study plus 2 years of juggling with the job and home responsibilities. I have 2 daughters. So taking care of those 2 daughters, and it was a tough thing, but I enjoyed it. And the day I got a call from Hindustan Unilever that we are looking at a CHRO, HR head position for Lakme Lever, and we want to consider your profile. I was really surprised that I don't have an experience of pure HR because I was always into the the training or employee engagement or the leadership development and all that stuff. And getting a call from Unilever, it was very surprising for me. And I thought, in fact, my husband told me that there would be some mistake, which galat hoga. So I said, "Theek hai, galat hoga to galat hoga. Let me just try it out." And my dream came true, kind of. So my coach at that point of time, so he had planned that within next 4 years, you need to be a HR head of some small unit, business unit, or or some small company. That happened within 2 years only. So, and when I was talking to my coach, he said, what is important is that you believed in your goal, that end goal which you had kept in mind, and the success, the entire success is all about the process, how you transformed yourself in those 2 years. So believing your goal is very important. And one more thing which we are going to talk about is the self-affirmations, right? So this is something which is important. We will just look at why metamorphosis. We have already discussed a couple of things, right? So it helps you to accept the reality and to improve your mental and physical health and your productivity, right? So that's the reason, and achieving your targets, achieving your goals, that's where the metamorphosis is important. And how you will do that. Something which is very important is your planning, and which has been like I'm practicing for so many years is like the moment I get up, I do not touch my mobile phone. I drink half a liter water. I pray to God Here I'm saying pray to God. It could be any God. I'm not saying that, you should pray to a particular God or something like that. This is gratitude towards the universe, gratitude towards the entire world, the people who are helping you out, or because of whom you are what you are today. That's the expressing the gratitude. Actually, every day when we go to the bed, we are not sure that we will be able to get up the next day morning, right? So you should be thankful for this new day. Express that gratitude for at least 5 minutes. And every day, the affirmations is important. So what has worked for me are these self-affirmations, right? And your positivity. And we will talk about one quick thing, that is a conventional mindset to the transformational mindset. Before that, quickly, something which is important for you when we are talking about planning, this is clearing the clutter. We always have like hundreds of things going in our mind. Right now we have logged in here, and my doorbell rang. So it's like, who will be there at the door, and who is going to open the door, and how things will happen, right? But then it's okay, right? So we need to declutter our mind. We have 3 parts of our brain. The first is the conscious brain, that is also known as PFC, prefrontal cortex, which helps you to concentrate on the work which you are doing. Why am I telling you all this? Because this is important for the students to focus when they are, we all talk about the multitasking. I'm telling you, multitasking doesn't work. And this is a proven fact. We feel that we are saving on time, but when you are, and a lot of students, they have the habit that they study and at the same time the headphones are on and they are listening to the music. Boss, your brain cannot absorb it. Let's come to the fact, okay? Because your PFC is a part of your brain, that's your conscious brain, or wo itna sa chota sa hai, idhar hai, in the front, right? That helps you to concentrate and learn new things. That's the reason, one at a time. If you're learning something new, focus on that. There are a couple of other things which are handled by our pre-conscious brain. The routine, the familiar things, right? You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth. Every day, nobody has to teach you how to brush your teeth, right? You're thirsty, you drink water. You're hungry, you eat. These are routine, right? The routine things, can happen that multitasking. So if I'm eating and listening to music, that can be done because that's a routine, right? But if I'm saying that I'm eating and I'm learning something new, that can also happen because my eating is a routine. So still I'm able to focus on my learning part. But if I say that I want to enjoy the music and I want to learn something, that means you are trying to focus on 2 things at a time and your PFC won't allow that. And that's the reason at times it happens that I was physically present, I attended the lecture, but I don't remember anything. Why? Because my PFC was busy somewhere else, right? And there is a subconscious brain. This part of your brain is always working. 24/7, it's working. It doesn't have any shift duty, okay? And this brain actually allows you to ideate, dream, innovation, and you're handling the complex situations. So it helps you to solve those complex situations, giving out of the box solutions. That's this part of the brain, okay? So conscious brain or PFC, 1 thing at a time. Pre-conscious, that's 10 things can be handled, and that's where when we talk about planning, right, you need to keep compartment. You can make compartments or 10 sections. More than 10 you cannot absorb, right? So that is important, and your subconscious brain, that helps you to ideate. Okay. I want all of you to practice the affirmations. What do you mean by affirmations? Talking positive about yourself. At times people may feel ये तो खुद की तारीफ में लगा हुआ है and the person is so self-obsessed. No, this is not about being self-obsessed. This is being about positive. You will get what you will believe. If you will believe in negative things, negative will happen in your life. If you will believe in positive things, positive will happen in your life. Right? So it's a science and it's a proven thing, guys. It's not that, some spiritual gyan I'm trying to give it to you. This is psychology, right? And these are the proven things. It's nothing that, I feel and I'm telling you, right? This is a science. There are theories. What self-affirmations do? They increase they try to create the self-identity, right? Self-identity, once you have your own identity, it will help you to increase your integrity. What do you mean by integrity? Being true to yourself, being true to whatever you face. Once you get to that level, it will help you to improve your efficacy. What is efficacy? The efficiency with which you do anything. And it also helps you to maintain the quality of your work. Right? What are the benefits of self-affirmations? It helps you to handle your stress, right? Whatever are your physical behaviors, right? Your physical behaviors, you all have learned a theory of iceberg, right? So 1/10 of the tip of the iceberg is visible, but there is a lot more below that. Your behavior is visible. There are a lot more things below that. Your emotions, your biases, your family background, your socio-economic class, a lot of other things are involved, right? When you start practicing self-affirmations, it will increase your physical behavior also. So, the way you are portraying yourself, it will evolve, it will change, right? Yeah, it helps you to actually have a healthy diet as well, right? And whatever you want to achieve, you will achieve for sure. Whichever is your study table or your study desk, whatever it is. Once you write the letter from future, take a printout of that letter and try to put it in front of you on your workstation or your desk or wherever you study. Or if you want to put it in your book front page, that is also fine. That, every day you should see that. That's where you will be able to achieve that dream, right? वो शाहरुख खान का डायलॉग है ना, that पूरी कायनात, I'm bad at movies and dialogues, but then, yeah, so the universe comes together. All the energies in the universe will come together to help you to achieve that because you believe in yourself. That is important, right? I have actually given some of the examples here. And if you really want, I can write some of these self-affirmation sentences and share it with Alpa ma'am so that she can circulate. But yes, this is important. Till the time you believe in yourself, everything is possible. Okay, we are short of time, but then very quickly, I will tell you, yeah, 10, 15, okay, almost 20 years back, yeah, I met with an accident and my left hand was dislocated. It was hanging out, okay, and all the muscles were torn from my shoulder till my elbow, all the ligaments were torn. At the same time, my right leg had gone numb because it was a spinal injury, okay, and doctors told me at that point of time that I will never be able to walk, run, forget about running. I will never be able to walk, and like I'll have to go through a spinal surgery. And if I go through that spinal surgery, there were like 50% chances that either I will recover and I'll be able to walk, or I will be completely bedridden throughout my life. Okay. 6 months passed like that I was on the bed, and there was a caretaker, full-time caretaker for me. And I had a small baby at that point of time, right? So it was a very weird situation. And 6 months, yeah, it went like that, depending on somebody to give you water, to give you food, take you to the washroom. It's like a miserable life, 6 months. And but during that time, I did my research that what can happen. Okay. Somewhere I realized that there is an alternate therapy. And fortunately, I got to know or got in touch with a lady who was a yoga practitioner, physiotherapist, and into alternate therapy and all. And it was a fantastic thing. I actually, first day when I visited her clinic, obviously I was not able to walk. So my maid had actually helped me to get into the clinic. 6 months, every day I went there. And for doing those exercises, I was not able to lift my leg, right? So, but that lady was also so patient, and she had that, faith in me that one day I'll be able to walk. And she used to literally lift my leg, and she used to help me out doing those exercises. They used to pass some electric currents, a lot of stuff used to happen. 6 months, and then I was able to walk, right? And I said, okay, fine, that's good. And the best miracle was, after that, I had my second baby, which was, doctor was like, you can't take all that on your spinal, that's not possible. And you are not supposed to run, you're not supposed to dance. Please guys, it's been 20 years. I'm running every day. I run minimum 5 kilometers. I dance, I enjoy. I have visited Ladakh for all the treks. I have visited Himachal Pradesh couple of times for various treks, and I have enjoyed that. And I know very well my physical strength is not that great, but it's my mental strength. Right? Because I wanted to do it, I focused, and I felt that no, I can do it. That's the positive affirmation, and that will help you in your life. Right? Believe in yourself that you can do it. At times, if I just say that there is I'm feeling a little tired, or there is a leg pain, so immediately my family members will tell me, no, today you're not going for your walk or running or anything. You will sit at home. And I feel at that point of time, if I listen to these guys, forever I'm going to sit at home and I will never be able to run again. I may not run on that day for 5 kilometers, but at least I'll try to run for 3 kilometers. Right? So that's how the positive affirmations work. And if you want, I can write few affirmation sentences and I can give it to you guys so that you can practice yourself every day. But letter from future is must, right? So these are the conventional to transformational mindset we already discussed. A lot of things about it. Conventional mindset, it's about doubting, fear, frustration, confusion, anxiety, and discouragement. Wherein the transformational mindset talks about the certainty, clarity, confidence, enthusiasm, and encouragement, right? I want, now that almost we have spent, an hour's time about the mindset change. And some of you might have seen this video, but this is a fantastic video about the mindset change. And I want to show you this video. Let's watch the video.
Excuse me, ma'am, we can't hear the audio. Is there any audio in the video?
Nishikanta ma'am, I would like to know whether there is an audio for this video because we can't hear the sound.
Okay, so how to do that? Because I have shared the video. Is there anything that specially I have to share audio?
You just check at the left hand side, whether there is a sound volume. We have to increase that volume.
It's full actually.
That's the computer sound, right? The video sound.
No, the video sound is also full.
Also full? Okay.
Can you just check now once again?
No, still we can't hear it.
The audio is not clear.
No, audio is not clear.
Okay, your technical team, can you please, is there anything which I need to do? Because on Teams, I'm aware that you have to share audio separately.
Yeah.
But here,
Do you see the volume icon somewhere?
volume for the video you are saying?
Yeah, for the video.
That's full.
So you can just try, get it to 0 and then again make it 100. I guess it works like that.
Okay, sure. Let me just try it out again. Is it audible?
No.
Okay. So even if it's not audible, probably you will have to read out the text then, because the same thing is being actually said.
Ma'am.
Or if you can.
Hello.
Yes, Aniket. Ajinkya?
We can actually sign in from mobile also at the same time. So from mobile, the audio will be.
Sorry?
We can, as we are logging from laptop, at the same time we can sign in from mobile also. And when the audio plays on the laptop, it will also be played on the mobile, and the mobile audio will be audible to us.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you what.
He's saying that students can log in from mobile, the Zoom link, the session link, and then they'll be able to hear it.
No.
Okay, so it's okay. I think, what we will do is I'll share this video with Alpa ma'am also. But then, if you guys can read, what is mentioned here on the screen.
Yeah.
You're able to see the video, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the narrator is just reading out those lines only. It's nothing different audio actually. If you want, I can play from the beginning so that you can read those lines and it's. So I'll give you a brief about it. So what is happening is there is a experiment which has been done. Okay. So there are a lot of volunteers. They have called in for this experiment and right. So it's like it's an experiment for the human mind. Okay. And what they have done is they have called 22 volunteers and they have given a riddle to solve. Okay, and what they have done is they have recorded their responses, that every participant, what answer they have given to that riddle. Okay, and I will tell you the riddle also. It will appear now. Okay, you understood the riddle? A father has got his son for an interview, okay, with the country's largest stockbroking firm, okay, and just as they arrive at the company's parking lot, the son's phone rings, okay. So father is sitting next to him and they are in the car and the son's phone is ringing. Okay, so you understood? The son's phone rings. Father tells him, go ahead, answer that call. Okay, and when he answers that call, it's a call from the CEO of that stockbroking company, right? And who says, so you know, he looks at the phone and he looks at his father because it's a call from the CEO of the company, and the voice of you know, on that particular call says, "Good luck, son. You have got this." So the son ends the call and once again looks at the father, who is still next to him in the car. Okay. So how is this possible? You understood the riddle? The father and son, they are in the car, right? And the son gets the call and it's from the CEO of that company. So he looks at his father, who is still sitting there. And on the call, the other voice says that, "Good luck, son, you have got it." How this is possible as his father is still sitting next to him. Let's look at the reactions. What is the answer of the riddle? Who was the other person? His mother.
His mother.
Yeah. See, look at the reactions of people. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, right? That's where the mindset change comes into the picture. It's very easy for all of us to talk about it, right? And we all say that yes, 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 yes. But when it comes to the reality, that's how your mind works, right? So with that, I'll end my session. And this is a very, very beautiful quote by Dodinsky, who is, into a lot of thoughtful writing. It's a very beautiful quote. The butterfly said to the sun, "They can't stop talking about my transformation. I can only do it once in my lifetime. If only they knew they can do it at any time and in countless ways." So this is a time to reflect that how many times have you transformed so far, right? You know, we all are fascinated by the transformation or the metamorphosis which a butterfly or a lava goes through. Once in lifetime chance, right? Because once from lava to butterfly, the transformation happened. It's happened. And butterfly stays alive only for 14 days, just for your information, right? Wherein we as in human beings, we have the opportunity
Hello, ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes. Now
Right.
we can. Yeah.
So that's the beautiful part of it, that the butterfly has once in lifetime opportunity, wherein we as human beings we have the opportunity to transform ourselves n number of times whenever we want, and that's a great opportunity for all of us, right? With that, I am through with my slides, and probably yeah, now I'll just stop share. And yes, so just uh, with this, if you have any questions or any thoughts to share, I'm here to listen.
Yeah, so firstly, Nishigandha, thanks a lot for your valuable insights that you've given today to all the students. I'm sure it's going to be of great use to them, and I'm sure they'll be implementing these at some point of their, not only their studies with us, but also in their lives. So, students, if you have any questions or if you would like to ask any questions, please put them up in the chat box so that we can take them up.
And again, I'll reiterate, one thing is for sure, all the students should write the letter
Yes.
from future,
Yes, definitely we'll make sure.
and you will really enjoy doing that.
Yes, even we'll
That's
do
my
that.
promise to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yes. Meanwhile, students, put their questions in chat box. I would like to know, because I have a question from my perspective in terms, and I'm
Sure.
sure every girl or guys, wanted to go to salon, and there is a fear as of now to get back to normal. And what is that, the safety gear you can, bring that confidence back in people, saying that how can we get back to normal?
Yeah. So again, there are two important things. One is like on the physical side, what will you do? So I think the basic hygiene and the best part I always believed into is our Indian culture, that every time wherever we go, we have a habit of घर पे आने के बाद हाथ पैर धो लेना, right? So sanitizer is an addition, I must say, but wherever it is possible, wash your hands and stay safe and alert. That's something which is very, very important and critical. The second important thing is your mental well-being, right? Because in fact, yesterday only I attended one session. It was a Global Unilever session by Dr. Marcus Rory, who is like from London University and all that stuff. So he was talking about the mental well-being, Gurdi, and the one thing what he mentioned, which I really liked, was what happens is that the moment you get into a negative spiral or the negative mindset or self-doubting, your entire hormonal balance and your entire the body starts acting in a very different way. That's when what happens is then immediately your sinuses will get activated. You will have a running nose, you will have sneezing, you will have some kind of a headache, which in spite of taking medicines you will not get relieved out of it. And and then you start doubting yourself whether these are COVID symptoms. It is not actually, it's your mind is playing, right? And the moment what happens is your sinuses gets activated, or your various enzymes and all, or the it starts getting activated and starts acting in a weird way. You start developing all these symptoms, and the moment you have these symptoms, what happens is obviously it's a natural science that your body immediately starts producing more number of RBCs, and the fight happens, right? And that fight which is happening within your body increases your body temperature, and then you feel that okay, now I have fever as well. So mental well-being is something which is very important, and remain calm. That calmness will definitely help you out.
Right. We have a couple of questions from students.
Sure.
Akansha has a question saying that, being a woman, what challenges did you face during your growth in the industry?
Akansha, it's a beautiful question, I must say. So I faced a lot of challenges, but then and a lot of times I have come across the situations wherein people doubted me on my capabilities as being a woman, a leader in that position. But yes, my affirmations helped me out in that. So just to give you an example, when I was working with Reliance in Reliance Communication as a sales training head, I was not a part of HR. I was a part of business team reporting into the business head. He just once said, sitting in the AC corporate office, you will not be able to understand what your 10,000 people who are working in the field, they are going through, and you will not be able to design or think any training interventions for them. That triggered so much that I traveled across India, literally from Kerala till Jammu Kashmir, and including Bihar, Patna, whatever you will say, just to prove a point that being a lady, it's not going to stop me from getting that field experience. When I moved to Suzlon, in fact, that was the funniest part, because Suzlon had 3% women employees in the organization, being a manufacturing and being the energy sector, obviously. And those 3% women employees were either the secretary of some of the business head or the junior executives and all. There were only, I guess, Tulsi Tanti's daughter, Nidhi Tanti, she was there, and there were other two to three women who were above the DGM, GM level, the departmental head position. The day I joined, one of the senior in the organization during my induction very bluntly asked me, what are you going to do in this organization? You are not an engineer and you are a lady. What's that value you're going to add? And it was a straight face off with the real time situation. In every meeting, it used to get addressed that you should visit the field, the wind farm, and then you will realize it's very easy to talk about all these things sitting. I travel to all remote locations wherever we have the plants and wherever we have the wind farms. And the best experience was climbing a 130-meter tall windmill. The day I climbed that windmill and the day I was on the top of that windmill, none of the leaders in the organization had anything to say about, right? So the only thing is, I feel as a women employee or a women leader, the most important thing is believe in yourself and believe in your potential and capabilities. Do not try to, and I'm being very blunt here, do not try to use to your advantage that you are a woman or you are a lady, right? You are equal. If you demand that equal respect, then you have to demonstrate that, equal, probably the, what do you say, the efforts as well, right? The day I climbed the wind turbine, none of them had that question. 10 times people asked me, are you sure that you want to? I said, I have given a self-declaration. If something happens, I'm responsible for it, right? I'm medically fit. I will climb. So that's somewhere, as the new generation girls will have to keep in mind that focus on your strengths, your capabilities, your intellect. Rest, world will follow you. I hope I answered your question, Akanksha.
Thank you, ma'am. One more question from Ajinkya saying that how will students or how should students identify the difference between dream and passion, as we won't able to understand it unless we try?
Yeah. So, Ajinkya, yes, we are passionate about a lot of things, but there is some dream, right? And that's when I asked you to write a letter from the future. When you will write that letter from future, and if you have some coach or mentor or somebody with whom you will discuss, you will understand that what is your actual dream, right? So and passion, yeah, we are passionate about a lot of things, right? You won't believe, but I write shairis as well. Okay, so that's my passion. But will it be my dream that I want to be a great shair? No, that's not. That's something I enjoy for myself. But what I do in my life, there is a purpose. Okay, here I will just tell you one thing, Alpa ma'am, if you can help the kids also. There is a beautiful video of Robin Sharma on personal mission. Okay, please watch that video. It's something 13 minutes video. It talks about your personal mission in your life. Okay, and there is a process of writing a personal mission. Okay, if possible, I'll share it with Alpa ma'am, with which the students can do it. And Ajinkya, definitely it will help you out, because when you write your personal mission in that specific, guided way, you will understand what is your dream and what you want to achieve in your life. And rest, everything is your passion. Enjoy. Right?
Right. We have the questions coming up. I hope you don't mind, ma'am, if I take one or two more questions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The other question is, what kind of change do we need, or changes do we need in industry sector being a woman?
Sorry, what are the
changes do we need in industrial sector being a woman?
Can you just elaborate what you exactly want?
The question has been asked by Shraddha. She said, what kind of changes do we need in industrial sector being a woman? I mean, she would be under, or the changes she must be talking about, if you have to be in a specific sector, what kind of changes do we need versus being a woman, or it is in general, changes do we have for all sector being a woman leader?
Okay, one thing I will tell you here, whichever sector you will get into, okay, try to get the business knowledge and the domain knowledge first. Okay, whichever company I have worked for, I have spent enough time in the field market to understand the business. The day you understand how your company makes money, that will give you the confidence to stand in front of any person in the organization and talk sense, right? Because it is somewhere, it's a myth or bias or prejudice, whatever you will say. People think that women are not data centric, not data focused, they don't understand business, or they don't understand Excel files, they are scared of Excel files and all. Please break that myth. And when I'm saying that data analytics or Excel, probably you may not be able to put those formulae there. It is absolutely fine. But whatever you are seeing, you should be able to decipher that information. Get into that level. That's something which is important, right? Today, I am a part of all business decisions, right? Why? Because, yeah, I like business. And you might be surprised, but in my KRAs, it's more than 35% weightage is given to the business, right? So because I'm responsible for business as well.
Right, excellent.
So get into that space, Shraddha, that will earn you a respect in the organization wherever you are working.
Thanks, ma'am. Probably this is the last question.
Sure.
How to overcome overthinking?
How to overcome overthinking? Okay. So first of all, overthinking is good at times, no doubt about it. Get into the self-affirmations and you will be able to eliminate those extra information and that extra thinking process, right? Once you will start practicing self-affirmations and self-belief, you will be able to manage and handle that overthinking part as well. And I'm being very honest, if you think that I do not get into overthinking, even I get into overthinking. It's absolutely fine. But you need to understand where to put a stop and where to cut that extra information and focus on the core, right? So practice your self-affirmations that will lead you to, control that overthinking as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there's a straight feedback from the student saying that Shruti Singh is saying, ma'am, you're a great inspiration. And thank you so much for that. And then Samita says that, it will be great if you could share some self-affirmations and how to overcome fears that will help us to grow.
Sure, definitely I'll share that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for your insightful session. And I'm sure, students have learned. It shows the kind of questions and how attentive they were, the kind of questions coming up. Thank you so much for your valuable time. And we definitely look forward for further engagement from you. And I request Rajesh sir to take it ahead. Rajesh sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishi. I think the students couldn't have asked for more, and especially I'm sure the ladies are all motivated enough, and because that's an area we really encourage our team also. So I think the only people who are male in our organization is just me and Gaurang. So all the positions are left to the ladies to take it forward. Okay, so we just happen to be there.
So
And,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm yet to work in such organization. I have always faced the reverse situation.
I think I think across my career that's been a very conscious decision in my life. And I think almost anywhere I have worked, I think 70 to 80% of my teams have been women. And let me tell you very honestly, they've been the best performers across. So I mean, I never had a doubt on their capabilities, and I think it also comes from the values that is inculcated to you during your growing up years too. And I think so that's been always been there. And I think even if you look at the combination of our students, I think almost 50% of them and more are girls. So I think we're very proud
about that aspect also. We don't distinguish anybody for that matter in terms of their capabilities, and we encourage them to do as well or more than their male counterparts. So guys, you have competition, huh? So don't think that you can get away with it.
That's
All right. So great. It was really nice, Nishi. I think especially your personal journey was I think a lot of encouragement to the young generation of how to overcome obstacles, right? And I think I'm sure a lot of them would be inspired by that. And we surely, as Alpa said, look forward to interacting with you on a personal level. Hope the COVID goes off before the new year begins, if everything goes right. And yeah, we would love to have you on our campus. We have a wonderful campus in Wadala. I think one of the best campuses in Bombay. And we would love to invite you there. And we also had set up actually a woman's this empowerment cell, and it's just that because of the COVID situation, everything, this was supposed to happen in the next coming months. We probably might still do it on a virtual level, and I think you would surely be invited for that too.
sure.
Yeah,
Would be pleasure.
yeah, great. Thank you, everyone, and
Thank you. Thank you.
yes, let's all connect later in the day. Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Nisha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students.
Thank you.
Thank you and all
Thank
the
you,
best.
Nishi.
team.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.